Was trepidatious. I wasn't nervous. I was afraid. It was trepidatious.
How many?
That I was
How many P's in trepidation?
11.
I can't stump them on the beer and the alcohol part of it, so I got to do this kind of shit. Coming to you virtually live from the Beer to Whiskey Studios, high atop Barley's Tap Room on Washington Street in downtown Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Russ Heaps, and welcome to this episode of Big John and Five. And that's where I get my good buddy here, Big John Richards, to pick a beer from one of Barley's 72 or so taps, or 50 or 60 cans and bottles. We sniff it, we sip it, we kibitz about it. John tells us a little bit about the brewery, and sometimes he even covers a little background and history about brewing itself. And with that magnificent introduction, John, what do we have?
Magnificent introduction to a magnificent day.
It's
one of those 75 degrees fall days in South Carolina. It's hard to.
It's a San Diego day in South Carolina, is what it is.
So we're drinking a pretty magnificent beer as well, or
looking at it right now. We haven't
actually tasted it yet.
Haven't consumed any of it.
But these guys are actually brewing some fantastic beer. This is Pangea Brewing. They're one of our brand new Greenville breweries. So this is a very local episode.
Yes, yes. You may have to come to Greenville to actually.
Right. So the head brewer down there actually was a graduate of the UC Davis beer program, which is probably the consensus best beer program in the country.
Is that right?
Yeah. So he went out there to study, and then
they're in North Carolina, yes?
No, California.
Oh, California was close. They begin with a C. Well, they both have C's in their name, and an A too. A's and C's. So this is why they don't let me say anything else there. Go ahead.
It's color. It's color.
Yeah.
So he's got the chops for this, and he's been brewing some really fabulous stuff out there. Not the least of which is going to be this fun thing called Valhalla, which I'm excited for because
what a great name.
Because I'm a Swede, definitely a Viking descendant, and I'm just excited for that kind of thing. This is derivative of the fact that he used a Kvike yeast for it too, which is Norwegian, not Swedish.
Well, that's not right.
No, well...
that would really tick me off as a Swede.
Right, that's the deal. You would know.
Yes.
My family is so Swedish that one of my grandfather's sisters got disowned by the family for marrying a Norwegian. That's a true story.
That reminds me of the Cheers episode when Woody was going to get married, but he was a Lutheran, and he was marrying a Lutheran, but he was LCA, and she was AL, or Missouri Senator ALC or something, and it was a big, but I digress. Go ahead.
That was a fun episode. That was a great TV show.
Yep.
Anyway, so using a Kvike yeast, which is a Norwegian strain of yeast that's really become popular in the last couple of years, they decided to go with a Norse name for it. And Kvike yeast is it's an old yeast. It's a farmhouse yeast. Basically it's a wild yeast that's now been cultivated, but it's a super hardy yeast. So it can ferment at like up to 110 degrees, which would destroy most yeast, but it can boil right along happily. And then and it also can ferment to much higher alcohol strengths. So they're using it for bigger beers.
That's good.
But and it also dumps a bunch of fruit flavors in there, which is perfect for a hazy IPA.
Yep.
So we should definitely, so this is a Galaxy Citra and crap, I forgot the third one.
Some other
hop. I was mostly excited because it's a Galaxy, and Galaxy is almost certainly become my favorite hop. If I see Galaxy in a beer, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like it. And
despite the fact it's a little hazy.
Citra is another great one, and it didn't use Mosaic, which is my favorite thing for people not to use.
Well, there you have it.
But that's personal. Mosaic, I'm sure, is its great hop. It just doesn't work for me. But that said, I'm expecting a nice little juicy tropical fruit bomb here. I love the color on this. I love that this is hazy without being chunky. It doesn't look like a milkshake. It still looks like a beer. And I'm very excited for this beer.
Me too.
You're still...
Text Miss Lily.
Oh yeah, you smell the funk on that.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's great. Oh man, the aroma's good on that. Ooh,
Orange.
that is delightful.
That is.
Yeah, it's orange and lemon. I'm definitely getting some lemon in there. And I often get lemon out of Kvike, so it's probably looking for it. It is bright and expressive up front, and it is clean on the finish.
That it is.
A lot of these linger so acidic, almost acrid the way they go, and they get vegetal and green because you don't finish the beer out, you just throw it out there and hope for the best. I'm really angry with some breweries about some of these hazies they've made. You have to be able to still spend time on this.
This is a well-crafted Hazy IPA.
Yeah. This is one of the best hazies I've had in a very long time.
Right here out of little old Greenville, South Carolina. Wow. Who would have thunk it?
Right. Oh my goodness. I was trepidatious. I wasn't nervous. I was afraid. It was trepidatious.
How many P's in trepidation?
11.
I can't stump them on the beer and the alcohol part of it, so I got to do this kind of shit.
I was a little bit trepidatious that I would sit down in front of the cameras and have to go, oh, so it's okay. So not be able to get excited about it, but that's really good.
I am thrilled with this. I tend to like, when it comes to IPAs, although we just did an episode on Sierra Nevada's Torpedo, which is a classic California IPA, and it is exceptional. But I tend to lean towards hazies. But this is certainly in the top 2 or 3 hazies I've ever had, and it may be number 1. But I don't want to say that without sitting down and drinking the other couple that I really remember. But
that beer is fantastic.
It is wonderful.
And you know what this beer actually reminds me of? Not necessarily its exact taste profile. It reminds me of how much I love Lawson's Sip of Sunshine. And the first time I ever tasted a heady topper,
I have no idea what he's talking about. I hope you do.
Well, if you're a beer drinker, you've probably heard of heady topper. If you're an IPA drinker, you've definitely heard of heady topper.
I'm a beer drinker.
Heady topper is what started the whole New England Revolution,
okay.
Effectively, because people would stand in line for days and waiting to get heady topper. You could only get it from the brewery, Vermont. And the first time I ever had one, the person who brought it to me also brought Sip of Sunshine. And I was like, oh, I take Sip of Sunshine every day. I'm not trying to put down heady topper, but I'm like, Sip of Sunshine is where it's at for me. This one reminds me of how much I like Sip of Sunshine, because that is glorious. I would sit down and drink one of these.
What's the ABV of this?
6. Which is nice, because a lot of these hazies get up into the 7.5, 7 to 8 range,
right.
And having this much flavor and this much expression in a beer that's 6%, that's still relatively mild on the alcohol front. I love it. I am so glad that we're getting on the train of getting these beers that have flavor, that are big and expressive, and have reasonable alcohol strengths. I like drinking 2 beers and passing out as much as the next guy. But I also like enjoying beer with my friends over the course of an afternoon, and this is the way you could do that.
I like this.
Yeah. I'm digging this a bunch.
This is probably our 5th.
Yeah,
I think it's probably our 5th episode we've shot today. and we have not. There's not been a clunker beer in the bunch.
We've had some good ones today.
We've had some good beers today, and this is another one right here.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed. Good job, Pangea. They have a good motto too. Pangea, bringing the world together one beer at a time.
That is. That
I like it.
That I agree. You have anything else to add to this?
Come to Greenville, taste some beer.
Yeah.
Answer the phone.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a beer to whiskey shoot if we didn't have
get a phone call.
We didn't have the phone ringing at some point.
Here's to it.
Yes, sir.
Bang.
So damn lucky. See you next time.